If you've been following my Instagram, I'm up $67,000 for the month, which is obviously including profit split. So I'm getting 67K. So it's like probably I don't know the calculation, but probably like 80 racks. But I'm gonna do a couple breakdowns for you guys. The trades that took me to get to these, obviously. Obviously, I did break down a lot of trades in the previous video. So if you haven't seen that video, it's 7 days in the month and I made 71K. It's now 16 days in the month. I probably made 90K. Because I made 20K just yesterday. Anyways, let me break it down. So these are trades on gold. Nasdaq I did break down, and EU as well. So I'm gonna break down EU as well. So it's just gold and EU. Nasdaq I haven't traded. So let me just break it down. Very simple and very easy. So obviously I'm sharing my screen right now so you can see the chart. We got gold right here. This was yesterday during Asia session. So we had this we had this beautiful demand left behind from Asia session. You know, this demand, what did this demand do? It took out this low first of all, and then it did tag into that demand right here, which was left previously from CPI, if I'm not mistaken. So now we do go to the lower time frame, keeping in mind that there is this high right here. But what I was targeting, and I can show you guys this. So I can show you guys that we went live Friday night in the mentorship, and I did a whole breakdown on what's gonna happen on gold, and this is exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. I'm expecting sells on FOMC, but actually I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm thinking for FOMC, like what the playbook would be. So with Fed rates, I don't know much about Fed rates, but I know that when the Fed do cut rates, I think the XY goes up a lot, right? Because there's uncertainty in the market. They don't know what's gonna happen for stocks. So stocks, Nasdaq, NQ, whatever, all of that, it's gonna start dumping. EU is gonna start dumping, and then safe haven. What is safe haven? It's gold. Now during this live session, I wasn't really thinking that. So there is a possibility that gold just continuously keeps pumping while the XY also pumps. There is a correlation in between, but obviously, as a safe haven, gold is way more safer than any asset like Nasdaq, S&P 500 and all of those stuff, and even EURUSD and whatnot. EURUSD is not really an asset, but whatever. So that was the whole plan. But looking at this, I was like, okay, we're gonna touch this demand, and obviously I can show you guys this demand. It's exactly this demand. You can see it's 42. You know, you can exactly see it. We're gonna push down, which happened obviously during London session because price was here. Happened during London session, and we did push up. So that was very, very nice. And I was just expecting buys, and my TP was gonna be these highs. We had this equal highs, or whatever you want to call it, a lot of liquidity. And I was also breaking down why I'm thinking that there's liquidity around. Now I'm gonna give you guys the example, right? First of all, trendline breakout, right? There's stops here. Well, double top, there's stops here. Double top again, there's stops here. And I think once price pushes here, there's a possibility of a triple top, which will get a lot more sales as well. Another trendline breakout. Like there's a lot of possibility and scenarios that here, obviously even support, like there's a support range here, support resistance traders, supply and demand traders. Yes, supply and demand traders. I'm trading against supply and demand, you could say, and obviously I'm a supply and demand trader myself, but I'm just trading against the liquidity, right? Now, this is all that I had in mind, you know. I've been telling this a lot to a lot of people. The moment I got extra, like very, very consistently profitable is when I started noticing when and where the liquidity is. So if I know where the liquidity is and where people are shorting, because obviously I do have some time in the market, I somehow know a lot of strategies. Or by just knowing, I know what a trendline breakout is, I know what a channel breakout is, I know all of the stuff. So I can imagine where people would put their stop losses, which is what makes me very profitable, because I just target people's stop losses, and that's how the market runs. The market just solely runs off liquidity. Now anyway, we did get a push into during London session. You can see this, we have this beautiful chalk flip. There you could have had entered the trade. Now I didn't enter this trade, but you could have entered this trade, and for reference, the high, I'm gonna put in the high for reference. TP was exactly this high, okay. So for reference, this could have been your first trade. Now, did this go to exact TP? I don't really remember. I don't think so, because I think this low got taken out before we actually managed to pull to the upside. I was actually in this trade, but I went break even before. Actually, no, I took this trade during A session. I'm sorry. I took a trade during A session on this flip, right, from the previous demand. And this trade, I was in break even. My entry was around here. I was in break even because I was going to sleep. I didn't get tagged out break even, but after it did come to hit break even, actually came out to sweep this low, if I'm not mistaken. Or I might be just tripping. Okay, so I'm just tripping. TP just exactly hit. But actually from this, we went on and created new all-time highs, as you can see. Like we went and we kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Now, that's that, okay? That happened, and what happened after? I didn't take a trade. I didn't take a trade there. What you can see here is we have a demand here, right? I did call this into mentorship again. Like if you go to my mentorship, you can see exactly that I marked out this demand. This is a demand that broke the all-time high supply. So this supply and demand flip. Now anyway, so I'm gonna do EU breakdown in a bit as well. So anyway, I was looking to target, buy from here, and I was saying probably 3,700 is a good number because it's just an even number where you could potentially look to stop buying, right? So you guys can see that it was exactly this demand. Now, obviously, I didn't trade all of these times. We wait for price, obviously, to get to Asia session. So you can see during Asia session, instantly a drop. Once that drop happened, what did I do? I saw this chalk flip right here. Very small, but very detailed chalk flip. I entered, but what I did is I gave myself a little bit of breathing room, and I put my stop loss right here, right? And then I put my TP at 3,700, right here, and that's a 1 to 3 risk reward. That was one trade. Now what happened? You can see we just took out this low, then we had this huge pump, right? After this huge pump, which I didn't notice, I wasn't awake, we did somewhat come to retest. Again, I didn't check all that. Then I woke up at like 5 a.m. because I was gonna pray Fajr. I woke up and then I saw this low getting taken out, this low, which was the low that I was expecting to get taken out. I think, yeah, it just took it out. And from here, I waited for price to give me a chalk flip. So I waited. Obviously, in the meantime, I'm doing my, I went to pray. And once it did that, I entered again. I scaled in, okay? And then stop like this, TP on 3,700. And obviously, the other trade position will also be trailed to that low. So you can see, instead of a 3R, a 1R loss, it will become a half R loss because the R is halfway. Now after this, you can see that price is chopping around a little bit. Then London session comes. Let me go to the 15-minute. You can see that we have this push, beautiful push, beautiful push. Now it's very close to hitting TP. I'm not really worried. I'm even saying, look, it shouldn't even come back at all. Now what happens? Price goes to 36.99. Exactly. 36.99.12. And then what happens after? Price comes back. Price pulls back so much. It's kind of weird. Like I'm kind of weirded out. Like hold on. Then I'm saying let me land G. Let me land. Okay. But then I see this demand. I'm like okay. This demand looks solid. So let's see what happens from this demand. Price jerks off. Comes. Takes out the low. Then what happens? Is very hard to see. I mean, not very hard to see, but what does price do? Price tags into this demand, right? We have a demand here. You can take it like this, whatever. Uses this demand as liquidity. Uses the early buyers and early sellers with this fake bounce right here as liquidity. So you have double liquidity, right? From there on, it comes into my demand. It gives an entry model beautifully. I took another trade like this, but this was on another account. So this was a chop flip trade. And entry right here, stops like this, TP at 3,700 or this high, whatever you want to do it. And then you can see beautifully price goes up, then came back, then went up again, and you can see managed to finally hit TP. So that was the breakdown on gold, and that was 3 trades, actually 4 trades. And the crazy part is I haven't taken any loss. I have not taken one loss during taking these trades, so 4 wins in a row, which is very good. So that's that. Now let me break down EU, right? Because EU had a crazy push as well. So let's go down to EU. We can see EU actually had this huge push, and this is what I was explaining yesterday to my cousin Aiden, right? So I marked out this demand, and my cousin Aiden, he was like, look, why are you marking this demand out? It hasn't broken structure, it hasn't broken structure, it hasn't done anything. Why would you mark it out? Now I give this guy a clear example. You can actually see the drawings. We have a supply right here. This was the last supply, which, you know, held very strong after CPI. You know, we swept the high and then we broke structure. So this is a strong supply. What happened? We broke this supply. From this supply, we created a demand. That demand got respected. I'm not going to count this as a respect. I'm going to count this as respect because we actually broke structure, internal structure, and we swept that liquidity. So that's that. And from there on, you can see that this demand is getting respected. So I told my cousin, hey, listen, it's either going to go up from this demand or it's going to take all of this as liquidity and pull back into this area. Now, obviously, if you do get your entry model, then why would you not enter, right? So, Asia opened. I waited for price to potentially take out this low. It did exactly take out that low, right? Once it took out that low, I was looking back and I was like, okay, where could I possibly enter? Didn't really seem to find an entry. Of course, we did break structure to the upside. We did come and retest all the way these lows, and we didn't really do anything to the lows. Then I took this kind of chalk flip, and this is kind of a reassurance chalk flip because it has some breathing space, and obviously this was kind of a fair value gap low that people would trade fair value gaps. And as TP, originally my TP still is my TP. Actually, wait, we just broke out this TP. I didn't even notice that we took out this 4-hour high. I just realized. Looks like E is pumping and I'm in a long. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So that was my TP and my TP just got hit. Wait, what? What is this pump? Well, I'm still in the trade. I don't even know why. Well, this was the trade, right? And I was supposed to close here, but I didn't. And now it's 20 RR. Well, kind of crazy, but the risk was very low. It's only $100, which is still a lot. So I should be up like $1,500 on futures. So that's very, very good. But yeah, well, that's the trade. You can see 13.5 RR. Obviously, the candles were pretty big and price did move very significantly to the upside without really coming back. There was an entry here you could have caught during New York session during news. News dropped, gave a nice sweep and then potentially into this demand. That could have happened. London session, you can see maybe here's some continuation plays after taking out this high, which was kind of a risk because this high got taken out by price. Obviously, this is a 15-minute high. Expected it to deliver to the upside, which it did. So as you can see right there, that is that. And yeah, that was just very, very nice. And then obviously the proof, well, my camera's tripping kind of, but let me fix this. I'm not gonna cut this because I cannot be asked and you guys have to just watch me do this. But anyways, so kind of the proof that I walk the game I talk is I just requested a payout yesterday, by the way. Yesterday morning, should be here by today or tomorrow. You can see all my payouts from September, so 3.1. This is 15 grand ish. This is so 20. That's 23 grand. And that is not, well, it does consider this. Okay, so 23 grand from only Top Step with obviously I have 4 150Ks, which let me show you guys. So I have 4 150Ks, as you guys can see, at $9,600 balance, and they will be at 10,000 by the time I'm Friday because I'm just gonna do the $200 days. It's actually on 150 now, so that, but I'm just gonna do 200 because I want it to end at 10K. So that's gonna be 4 times 5K, which is 20 racks, which will be 43K only on Top Step, and that will be by Friday. So by next week I should have another fuck knows what. Then we have funding pips 10K, which I already shown in the last video. Alpha futures also 10K, which I already also shown in the last video. So if you guys want to see all that, you go back to my video and watch that. So that's pretty much the breakdowns and all the proof that I can give you guys. Hope you guys did enjoy and hope you guys do appreciate these breakdowns. I'm trying to do as much as content possible. What the fuck? I'm trying to do as much as content possible on YouTube to give you guys the best education I can. That's pretty much the breakdown. Yeah, that's it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe. It does help me because Obviously, the more likes and the more subscribers I get, the more I think people like these type of content, so I can do them more, and also motivates me. So make sure to do all that. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Mostly Instagram. I don't really post on Twitter, but make sure to follow me on Instagram, and I'll catch you guys later. Like and subscribe, or you're fucking gay. And if you're a female, you're a fucking lesbian. I don't think any females watch my videos, and you fucking like and subscribe, okay? Thank you very much.